that's it. Another Le Mans 24 hours done. And while the battle at the front of the field for much of the race wasn't quite what we were expecting, it came alive in the final hour of the race. It was a race won for a second year in a row by the number 8 Toyota of Fernando Alonso, Kazuki Nakajima and Sebastian Buemi. But that was only after an issue for the sister number 7 car on the turn of the final hour. I'm joined by Tom Errington. Tom, we're on the grid here just after the end of the race. A really dramatic turn of events that we didn't see coming. Just explain to us the problem that the number 7 car had and how that changed the race.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the first stint of Conway in particular, he managed to build a lead of over a minute quite quickly. Never really became challenged by the number 8 car. It took safety cars and slow zones to kind of mix up the picture a little bit, but even then, you know, when Lopez was in the car, when Conway was back in the car, when Kobayashi was in the car, they were always able to recover from that, and very quickly they were back into a comfortable lead. I feel like we typed that they were about 2 minutes apart for most of the 24 hours, really. Yeah. And then we got to the final hour. Lopez made his standard pit strategy, you know, the usual 11-lap stint, came in, detected a puncture, so that was changed. The puncture was on the front right, they believed. So they went and obviously changed it, as you would do. He rejoined the track, got to the Mulsanne, the worst place possible to find you've got a problem, and he's slowing. We saw the onboard where it looked like he was stuck in third gear. Maybe it's something to do with the hybrid system, but actually it was a tyre sensor issue, and it meant that Lopez, having just come out of the pit, had to go back in again and have the actual correct tyre changed. And obviously, you know, it's like at Le Mans, if you have one extra stop when the cars are that closely matched, you've lost the race. And for all Lopez was able to close in a little bit, the race was lost there and then.
And as you explained, the number 7 car really was a long way ahead for most of the race. We were used to seeing it 2 minutes clear. I think for Mike Conway and Kamui Kobayashi, it's 4 second place finishes at Le Mans now. But how does this victory feel for the number 8 car? Do we feel as though it's a proper triumph? We don't have the novelty factor of last year when Toyota finally broke its so-called curse by winning. This really was a race for the number 7, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's so tricky, isn't it, when you look at the drivers and what they've gone through. And you think about Lopez, he made 2 mistakes in the night. One, which was quite a major one through the gravel, the Mulsanne corner, and then another one at Indianapolis. And you think, those are kind of the mistakes that lose you Le Mans. And if you lose it from that, as hard as it is, that's on you to a degree. But Lopez managed to recover from that setback, get himself back in front. Conway, Kobayashi were just the perfect professionals in never reacting badly to any situation, and to have that robbed from them. You know, as a journalist, you should be impartial. You know, you think, well, this is racing, but on a human level, particularly the amount of second places Kobayashi and Conway have had now, you can't help but have your heart break. But if you're Alonso, Buemi, Nakajima, win's a win, isn't it?
And this marks the end of Fernando Alonso's affiliation with Toyota, at least in the World Endurance Championship for now. He's done exactly what he came to do. He's won the World Endurance Championship, he's won Le Mans last year and obviously again this time. What can we expect to see from him now? Triple Crown is always mentioned with his name.
Yeah, I think to start with he'd like to qualify for the Indy 500 and go from there, really, but obviously that's going to be his main focus. He's made it clear from the start the Triple Crown is the thing. It was interesting that when he joined the WEC, he made a thing about winning the championship as well as Le Mans. That had become a consideration for him as well. You know, world champion title's nothing to be sniffed at, is it? So yeah, we see where he goes from here, because my understanding is that the Toyota central contract, if you like, after this race, he's much more free to do what he likes. So it doesn't mean he won't go and do the Dakar with Toyota, for example, but if, you know, a series approaches him and says, would you fancy a go in this, there's nothing stopping him from having a go. So the interesting thing for me now is, yes, he's got this Triple Crown focus, but does he get tempted by various other side projects that he could do and really build one of these incredible CVs that we've not seen in motorsport in such a varied way for a very long time?